Scorpio, I hope you guys are doing great. I want to go and get into your reading for the last bit of February 2021. And if you're seeing this later on than February, somewhere out in time, if it resonates, it's for you. You know, timestamps are timestamps, but it is what it is. You know, energy is fluid, especially when it comes to tarot for thousands of people. So what resonates, resonates, okay? This is not a personal reading. Show me energy for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, so I'm going to pull some oracle cards then. Okay. Show me for Scorpio, please. Okay, thank you. Guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer exist in my soul's growth. Bottom of the deck, Judgment. I feel like I'm going to put these together, it feels. Okay, so I'll do that. I'll put them together. Under Judgment is relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my highest good. All right, so give me some more oracle energy for Scorpio. Okay, thank you. Here we have Go the Distance coming out in reverse. Observer. And one more. Not taking that many, sorry. These are hard to shuffle, you guys. Let me just do it the old-fashioned way. We'll see. Two more? Okay. Thank you. Purification. Success. All right, Scorpio. So it feels like somebody may be having guilt in regard to a situation where time wasn't invested. It may have been due to addictions, situations that were causing toxicity in a situation. You know, it feels like this person either has had time because Judgment is here. You know, it's like it's basically, this is now the judgment time, whatever we're being judged for, there's guilt associated with it. Not going the distance, being reserved, overly reserved, just watching a situation. This may be a situation that's over, but somebody's watching it now. It feels though with this, you have to be careful about how much relevance and credence you give emotional, like being caught in your emotions versus figuring out how to act upon something. Okay, so I heard with integrity. Interesting energy. And you know, as all of the things go, we are still in a Mercury retrograde until the 20th of February. So there is, I don't want to say it means a person's coming back. It can talk about that, but the energy is presented so we can, like, these thoughts, this guilt, whatever this is for whomever this is for. It could be the person that you're dealing with, but or that maybe is on your mind at this time. The energy here, though, is it wants to be done, I feel. It wants to be done. It wants some resolve in this. I think there's something that's taken too long here. Don't be stuck in your emotions. It's time to act here. It's interesting, though, too, because we have a fox. In tarot, for me, foxes kind of represent sly, potential sneaky behavior. They can be like the coyote, like the trickster energy. You know, and that can be a little bit frustrating just because it's like, has this person truly changed? Are they up to no good? You know, whatever it is here with this purging, with this elevation of understanding of the self, purification, success. I think that there is a growth that has happened. Sunflowers, beautiful energy, it grows tall. It's wonderful. I feel like there's a growth here. Okay, that's the whole reason I just said it grows tall. It's nothing special, but there's growth. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a little bit more into this energy here for Scorpio. Let me pull up my chair. Sorry for the sound of the heater, you guys. I'm in the basement right now in my little workspace, and it is -8 outside, and this basement is like 45, and I love the cold weather, but Marcel is somewhere in here, so I'm trying to keep it somewhat livable. Show me energy for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, February 2021. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, so you have the moon coming out, right? You have the 6 of Swords. And the 5 of Wands coming out in reverse. More for Scorpio. Oh my God, literally slapped me in the eye. Hang on. Yeah, the Hierophant. Okay, one more for Scorpio, please. Thank you. Temperance. Bottom of the deck, the 2 of Wands. We'll put this somewhere. We'll put it over here for now. It'll be fine. So, like I was talking about, this moon energy, the cloudiness, the frustration, I feel, you know what, Scorpio, it's interesting because yesterday, I wanted to do your reading and I got pulled elsewhere. But one thing that kept coming to me was growth. And it was like a kind of arduous and painful growth, something that has really put somebody's actions and doings into perspective for them. There's an accountability. And okay, so what I was saying earlier, and I'm sorry, I feel like I got sidetracked. With this energy, with Mercury retrograde, it can talk about people coming back into your life, but more so, this is what I was trying to say, and I don't know if I finished it, more so than anything, it's bringing back thoughts, feelings, guilt, unresolved issues, situations that you feel you could have done better in, things that you would like to rectify, things that you would like to change. Sometimes it's literally just thinking about a situation and saying, nope, everything I did was right, and I don't need to change that, but there's some aspect of reflection, which is good, just because it basically tells you that you are mindful of your actions. There's an accountability to that, and I think that whatever road this is, there's some sort of action regarding accountability for our actions, for our doings. Okay, so in regard to that too, it's like with the moon, you have to face those fears. You have to come about opening yourself to create that change, to look within, to dig deeper. That is part of the purification, to get through these layers of illusion. The moon is Piscean energy, ruled by Jupiter, Neptune, but also with Neptune, it's a very confusing energy. It's one that is it makes things cloudy. It skews your vision. Your perceptions become either guided by your fear, your frustration, your anger, your love, your emotions, whatever it may be. Your codependencies, your inadequacies. Like, it's very interesting, that energy. So with Neptune, you can be clouded by a lot of your feelings. And with Scorpio, you guys are kind of in your head already, in your head and your heart. You're super sensitive, and it's very important to be able to accept, acknowledge, and access, accept, and acknowledge those feelings. Okay, however that goes. It's important for that to happen, just because, and this doesn't have to necessarily be pertaining to a relationship, but somewhere in your life, all right, somewhere in your life. You know, it could be, you know, your foundation with yourself, your foundation with your friends, maybe that one person that you love deeply, but like you cannot help but kind of antagonize them. It's like, why are we doing that, you know? And I know oftentimes it can be for their best benefit because you're a very strong sign. You've had to experience a lot of things, you know, so it's like you almost want other people to buck up, kid, buck up, you know, the world isn't falling apart. Think about how you communicate yourself to others. Sometimes it might be a little bit too harsh. Try to reel it in, try to understand why we're like, you know, we cause this friction sometimes, even if it may be in somebody else's best interest. It may be a call to be a little bit more loving, a little bit more nurturing, especially to yourself, but also to other people. You know, mind your communication, okay? With the Six of Swords, this is all about moving away from situations. This is finding better ground, especially in regard to the moon here, and the Five of Wands in reverse. This is basically choosing to move towards situations that decrease issues of combativeness, decrease issues of frustration, anger, competition, needing to have the last say, needing to make sure that your, you know, word is right. You know, there's an egoic accountability that seems to be coming here for this, and I think it may be difficult for some of you because we need to look deeper into the problem or deeper into the situation. You know, sometimes it's not a problem, it's just, you know, it just is. So this is about letting it go. It's about being conscious enough with the Six of Swords to really consider it, take time to dissect it, and then let it go. Now we are dealing with our emotions. We are, you know, paddling through choppy waters here, but we're paddling. The one thing I really like about this card is that in most of the Six of Swords cards, you see the swords in the boat with them. I know it's an image of it, so it's like, for me, it reminds me more of like a memory. I don't necessarily see six swords staying in there. Sometimes, to me as a reader, that can talk about, you know, wanting to get away from a situation, but not really addressing the problem. It's just kind of fleeing the scene, you know? So here it's like we are conscious of what we've been through. We're conscious of what we've caused others. And, you know, we are now willing to create a memory from it instead of just living in this haunting existence of being attacked by it, by our almost like guilt, emotional circling around situations. It's time to judge yourself, you know, and if not, it may be time to be judged by others. So, yeah, with the Five of Wands, either way, this is in the center of this reading. So this energy really wants to put down the guard. It wants to be more malleable. Okay, so I just heard be more physically available. For some of you, maybe physicality is something that is well, lacking. I mean, clearly we are in the middle of a plague. So, you know, that may be something. Be careful about that stuff, guys. Going out and seeing people. I need to drink something really quick. Okay. Yeah, with the Five of Wands, we're really wanting to create a sense of calm, create a sense of peace. Okay, so I'm hearing the issue. So calming down the issue, whatever the issue is for you. Okay, so the Hierophant energy, it's a really powerful one, especially here. We have a medicine woman. We have that spirit energy. This can talk about finding new purpose within yourself. We can talk about the type of spiritual growth and journey that you've been on, something that has provided you with a stable and steady diet of, I want to say acknowledgement, you know, it's just kind of like, okay, so I'm seeing a conveyor belt with like issues. It's almost like that I Love Lucy episode with bonbons, you know, when they're in the factory, or the chocolates. It's like issues. So it's like a steady stream of issues. You know, some of you, meditation is going to help. This can talk about counseling. It can talk about spiritual advancement in yourself, spiritual teachers, gurus, you know, all of that type of energy. It creates a sense of stability in your life. It creates, you know, the action and will to want to change something so that you can stabilize the energy versus floundering in it and being oh, how do you say that word? Versus being subject to it. You can clear it out versus being subject to its constant. I feel like a constant like loop of whatever we're dealing with. It's a constant loop. Here we have Temperance. So this is all about balance. It's about trust. It's about healing yourself, healing your body, healing addictions, being available to recognizing what is out of balance in your life, what is out of balance in the relationship that you have with others. Where might we be exerting an extra sense of either protection comes out misunderstood. It's like for somebody's best good, or intentions, your intentions are for their best good, but there's almost a way that you're kind of like controlling the situation. So it's causing a friction, or it's making a person feel less than. That's not helpful. Okay. And I feel like you recognize it when you see it happen, but it's not helpful. And if that's not a person that you're dealing with, then I would likely say draw it in towards yourself, if that makes some sense, okay? But Temperance, you know, it's about that balance. It's about that self-attention and detail to the nurturance of the self, you know, so you can have a better understanding of the direction that you go in, the feelings that you experience, the feelings that you put out into the world. You know, we are these manifesting machines. Last time I called you sexy machines. Now I'm going to call you manifestation machines, you know, or whatever, but like machines of manifestation. You guys are so powerful in your emotions. I feel like sometimes it's almost like a missile, and that missile needs to be guided. Okay, it's really interesting here. And Jesus Christ, I just realized I sound like Abraham Hicks, which I do like Abraham Hicks. But yeah, it's almost like there's a force here, Scorpio, that really wants to beam out and make itself known. And I feel like if you're holding yourself back due to emotional frustration, baggage, okay, so I'm here, that's a new one. I heard feeling cursed. You know, that it really depends on how you view that. For those of you who feel like you're cursed, you know, I don't know if that's just a figure of speech or if that's like an actual concern of being cursed. You know, you are worried about somebody's put a curse on you. You remember, you are an energetic being. You know, what you believe is what comes into your life. So be conscious of how you go about things. Be conscious of the things that you think and put out, you know. So be aware of that, because you create it for yourself. I feel like there's an exertion of energy that needs to come out, or like we want to shake something up after something's been put away in the cupboard that's very dusty. It's like, shake it off, Scorpio. Okay, bottom of the deck, Two of Wands here. This is about new direction, new beginnings, balance again. You know, two directions. You have two minds here. Two of Swords underneath that. Two twos. Thank you. Yeah, new direction of two minds about it. I feel whatever has caused this destabilizing stagnation, Scorpio, it's like shifting itself right now, and you're kind of bearing the brunt of it, and it might not be something easy to go through. It almost feels like transformations are happening whether you like it or not, and so it might be well just to jump on the boat and, you know, accept what is. If you're having compulsive, constant, ongoing thoughts about something that needs to be released, now is the time to do it, because what's being offered here is a new experience. You know, it's growth. This is an energy of growth that I'm feeling, a big growth here for somebody. And I also want to say, sometimes the way that we view success, how do you view success? Is that monetary? Is that what you have in your wallet? Is it, you know, flexing because you like, you know, you got gold rings or whatever? I don't know. It's something, it almost feels like we're having to redirect how we view success now. And again, it's almost as if it becomes a important piece to recognize where it comes from ourself, our personal successes, our personal growth. I feel like somebody here has kind of been on the fast track to like doing things in a very traditional way in regard to how they live their life. You know, it's like the tried and true, the experiences that have to be in alignment, you know, for everything to work, which is a very practical way to live. But sometimes we can get lost in that energy. Sometimes we can forget ourselves. It's like we have to prove. It's like working for corporations and stuff of that nature, like where we are just exhausted by it, yet we keep going, and in the outcome, the payoff is nice because you have a nice car, you have money, you have things in the bank, you have a bit more security than other people do. But how much of that energy that are you putting into that? And yet there's an aspect here where it's like we're starting to realize that that type of success is integral. It's part of our life experience here, but it's also something that perhaps kind of keeps us misguided from the other aspects of how we can succeed in life. It's like we have to put more effort into succeeding on a personal level, on a spiritual level, on that humanitarian level. It's not just about what you can get, taking, what you can give yourself. So I feel here that there has been success in that regard for a lot of you, but here now it's like we have to shift the energy for moving to a different way of accessing how you believe in yourself, how you experience yourself, what is meant for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some of this. Two more. Show me the moon. Okay, Scorpio. For the moon, you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Come on. Thank you. Queen of Swords in reverse. And the Eight of Swords in reverse. So with this energy, it feels, Scorpio, like this confusion, perhaps you're holding on to things that are from the past that just really need to be purged at this time. It's almost like integral to your next step in life. This is now preventing you from actually experiencing more. There is the requirement for purification for you to go the distance in your life. It's time to stop being the observer. It's time to stop being entrapped by levels of guilt, feelings of guilt, thinking that we are less than. This is a judgment. This is a reckoning here. This is where we have to really pull ourselves out. And sometimes that's difficult, especially if another person is involved. Okay, it's important to be available to... Okay, so I don't personally see it as humility, but maybe it is. I feel my word would want to be humble, or be humbled by something, to be accepting of one's actions and one's experiences, the way that things play out in their life. It's like being available to be humbled by that energy now. It feels like somebody's redirecting or like shifting how they live their life, which I think is great, Scorpio. Queen of Swords in reverse, air energy, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. In reverse, though, this energy can be very heavy with guilt. It can be heavy in regard to also not allowing the past to be let go of, feeling so strongly about something in the past that we have a very difficult time letting something go. And for some of you, this can talk about relationships, but in the sense that there's some sort of shift that has to happen in the process, or the way that you see it. And it requires some accountability on your part. It doesn't mean you have to reach out to somebody if that's not in the cards for you. But if you are dealing with that, somebody may have confusion or may be scared that somebody will judge them very harshly. The Queen of Swords in reverse can judge people very harshly. She's, but oftentimes it's coming from a place of deep frustration, of sadness, of hurt, not being treated correctly. There's also levels of abandonment fear that I'm picking up right here. Okay, the Eight of Swords in reverse, though, it's interesting with this card just because sometimes with the Eight of Swords in reverse, it can talk about, being clouded in your mind, you know, having so many different options, thinking about things in so many different ways, almost sometimes making, you know, mountains out of molehills, and not having all of the right information. And so what you do have, you embellish upon in whatever way. And it doesn't have to be a positive way to embellish it. It can be very negative or destructive. So, you know, that can happen also. And sometimes it can also be talking about how when we're dealing with people, you know, or ourselves, you know, it's like, how are we lying to ourselves? How are we being lied to? You know, in reverse, I will say that sometimes lies can be heightened in that regard. So this person, if you're dealing with somebody, or if somebody is dealing with you, there's an aspect here where honesty is really a question. Now, if it's not dealing with a person, then how are you holding on to things from your past that are really just, I think it surpasses coulda, woulda, shouldas. It's like there's something integral about you doing something in the past that just really was not the way to do it in your eyes now that you've grown, you've had growth. But it's like, how do you fix that? Okay, interesting stuff. Show me the Six of Swords for Scorpio, please. Hang on. Show me the Six of Swords for Scorpio. So you have the King of Wands here. No focus? No focus for you? Alright, that's cool. Be like that. Ten of Swords. You have the Hierophant in reverse here. So, bottom of the deck, the Seven of Swords. Isn't that pretty, Seven of Swords? That's so lovely. Yeah, there's something here that we want to get away from, almost like yesterday, but it's really heavy, it's looming, and it's haunting us. I feel like, you know, if you are dealing with a person right now, the way that they are growing is confronting how they manage themselves as, not manage themselves, how they come into their own personal power. I feel like there's some sort of aspect of feeling very weak here in our lives, or whomever you're dealing with. There's something here of growth, of wanting to express oneself in a way of power. And I want that to be a healthy display of power here. With the Hierophant in reverse, I like this, though, just because it can talk about doing things in your own way, feeling like you have been, you know, experiencing the traditional, the practical, the way things have been done, the tried and true, you know, for so long. It's almost like it almost feels obscene, whatever I'm feeling for somebody. It's like you've had to deal with for so long. I don't know if this is like corporate world, working in hospitals, you know, something of that nature, just where there's like a repetition, but there's a soul suck that comes with it. With this card, with the Hierophant in reverse, it's really telling me that you have the opportunity to allow this to change and to heal here with the Ten of Swords, I'm sorry. Do it in your own way. Find out your own path. I think that this is also a situation of a lot of self-discovery that maybe wasn't allowed in the past. It's almost as if we've kind of kept ourselves at bay from being able to discover these certain parts of ourselves because they have caused so much fear. With the King of Wands, it's like you, or whoever this masculine energy is, or person, you know, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, they're ready to take the steps to move forward here. This person is having accountability within themselves. The Six of Swords here with the King of Wands. It's a direction. They're wanting to change direction, but all for the better, to ease things, to cause a relaxation and calm in their lives. And I think that that's important here. I feel like also it does deal with relationships, all types of relationships, and communication. You know, how are we able to, okay, so I'm hearing, how are we able to be more flexible about things? How are we able to be more flexible about things? That can just, you know, bring it back to literal rigidity in your life, you know, restriction, rigidity, fear of moving forward because we don't know what it is. You know, sometimes we just have to stare that down. I like this, though, because it's all talking about, you know, growth, expansion, understanding, and accountability. Show me the Five of Wands in reverse. All right. So you have the Three of Swords coming out in reverse here for the Five of Wands in reverse. Whatever heartache here that's been associated and, you know, connected with this, here at the bottom of the deck, you have the Tower, okay? So whatever frustration, heartache, separation energy, and I don't want to say just separated from a person, like separation, isolation from yourself, from others, self-isolating. I'm feeling a lot of wounding here, and it's not just incidental, it goes back, okay? So, you know, this is talking about really, especially within communication, with how you communicate to others, Scorpio, be aware of how that can be a very painful experience for certain people. And not all the time are you intentionally trying to hurt people, you know, or sting people, but sometimes your brutally honest truth is just that. It's brutally honest truth, and that can be very difficult for people to feel and hear and process and sit with. You know, not everybody is vibing in that dark river of Scorpio. You know, you guys are like the river Styx. Like, I love it, but it can be very deep and very scary for people to even dip their toe in that. And I think with your spiritual gifts, you know, and abundance, it can be a challenge sometimes, and especially if you have a sassy attitude. So, you know, communication here is key, though, and I think that we are, with this energy, I feel like we are moving towards the opportunity to start healing things. It may come as a surprise to another person, or this may just literally mean that you have to rip the bandage off, rip yourself apart from this old way of thinking, old way of processing, old way of doing things, old way of holding yourself back, and move forward towards something that's stabilized. So let's talk about this energy of stability. So the Hierophant, please, for Scorpio. Hang on, it's on the floor. Beautiful. You have the Ten of Pentacles here. I want you to look at this card if it will focus. Please focus. Please focus. Thank you. I was about to say fuck you. Okay, let's go. All right, so the Ten of Pentacles. This card, it's interesting. If you look at it, instead of just pentacles everywhere, it's about love. It's about connection, hope, foundations, family, long-standing relationships, endurance. You know, there's a lot of that involved. And I feel like somebody here is having to reckon with how maybe things have not moved in that direction in the past, or how things maybe got askew. But this is about stability. It's about foundation, and it first starts with yourself, okay? That's one thing that we all need to know, and if you already know it, I'm going to reiterate it. Before you enter into relationships, and especially while you're in the experiences and relationships that you're already in, be accountable for how you are. Be accountable for the foundation that you are operating under. It can be very difficult at times for others to understand you, especially if you shoot from the hip, okay? And you're dead on, more often than not, but like, that's harsh, okay? So what we're trying to do is stabilize the foundations that we have existing in our life, stabilize the foundations, and, you know, the association with how we build money, what our success actually looks like. You know, is it just financial, or here do we need to really make it a point to have love be the focus when it comes to abundance and success? This is all about abundance and success as well. You know, how can you shift that focus here? There's an aspect that needs to do that. Show me Temperance. You know, the Six of Swords here. So Six of Swords here as well. All right, so letting go of that energy, allowing things to change and shift. You know, here again, bottom of the deck, we have Judgment. So this is about processing the energy, allowing things to change. Here we are coming into our eagle self, Scorpio. It's interesting too, because you have the Bear. Okay, so with this energy, the Bear is, here, hang on, I'm gonna drop everybody. Yeah, and under the Bear, or under the Judgment card, you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Bear in the Lenormand deck, sorry, I'm dropping things. The bear in the Lenormand deck basically is a card of your foundations, your stability, the things that you have in your life, your abundance, your food. There's something about that when it comes to how you view your success, and I think it's important for you to be available to more. I feel that there's an aspect here of integration, and it might be something new for you. Some of you may be needing to do spiritual exercises, move into more meditation, more deep breathing, being mindful about how your body experiences the life that you're living. But judgment here, we're processing things, we're changing, we're elevating, we're shifting. I like that. And, it does regard things with finances, but also with the stability in your own life. There's a lot of growth here, Scorpio. And it just requires you to be very, very honest in how you judge yourself, how you choose to have guilt in certain things. And if you have guilt about a certain thing, then I urge you to go the distance and move forward towards what you have not been. I'm going to turn that upright, and I'm going to go ahead and get some cards on that. Show me go the distance. What's up with go the distance for Scorpio, please? Okay, so it's falling on Temperance and the Six of Swords, and it's the Two of Cups. Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So this likely has something to do as well with heartbreak and love and loss of love. It's like feeling guilty. The coulda, woulda, shouldas. What's under the Six of Swords again? So somebody here is really, I feel like they're caught between like the essence of growth and also accountability, and to accelerate that growth we have to be accountable for something that we feel guilty about here. So show me guilt. No, hang on one second. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I have 10,000 decks over here, and I just want to get the right one. Show me guilt. Show me guilt for Scorpio. What is guilt about? I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. What is guilt about for Scorpio, please? Okay, show me guilt. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to read these upright first. First card out, you have mental busyness, the fly. But I'm going to read the reversal of it, okay? Recognition, surfacing issues. This is kind of what this whole reading is talking about here. Ongoing situations. Next card you have, and these are all in reverse. I'm just showing you them right here. Hummingbird, joy, the joyous. The reversed energy. Despondence, repression, dissatisfaction. I feel that this person is experiencing a lot of that, and that's been something that's been on the plate for them for a long time. If this is not a person, it's the energy that you might be feeling as well, Scorpio. And if this is not resonating at all, well then, it doesn't. But, yeah, somebody's having a lot of dissatisfaction in their life, and it's in regard to how they have actively repressed themselves, And it doesn't just have to be in correlation to a person, but I feel that this is like multifaceted, okay? I feel like this is a person as well as multiple energies in our life, multiple experiences, the way that we deal with things in our own life. It's almost kind of like, maybe that's why it's so hard to look at, because everything seems so flawed. I'm not saying it is flawed, but everything is in our lives for a reason. Discomfort is in our lives for a reason. The way that we fear ourselves is in our lives for a reason. It's there to kick our ass. It's there to shove us in the mud, shove your face in the dirt, Sometimes shove your face in shit so you can smell it, but, and I know that doesn't sound pleasant, but That's part of life, you know. I feel here that there's been fear in regard to how to experience more, and it's an unveiling here. So the next card we have, Persistence, Wolverine, the taming power of the great. In reverse, this card is defeatist, exploitative, berserk. It's a very heavy energy, Scorpio. That might be how somebody's feeling on the inside. Very defeatist attitude. I don't know if there was an exploitative energy in regard to how you may have dealt with somebody in the past, or somebody dealt with you in the past, but was there? Did somebody feel exploited sexually for money? Like, what is it? Show me Observer for Scorpio. You have the Chariot, the Hermit, the Eight of Swords. So this is all mental frustration, not my bae. It's in our mind. It's in our mind and needing to heal something. This has been a very, very long experience for this person. I feel like now we have the opportunity to observe from a different vantage point here. You know, and I feel like it's heightened somebody's understanding of who they are as a person, okay? Whether this be you or somebody that you're dealing with. But here again, we have this charge forward movement. We have this energy of wanting to focus, okay? Focus our lives, focus direction. Stand in your truth, even if it's scary, even if you don't know what that truth looks like. Stand as close as you can to it, okay? It's going to help heal you. This is one of the most positive cards in the deck. And for it to be coming out with the Hermit, it's telling me that this is a lot of deep contemplation, a lot of deep solitude. Somebody feels incredibly saddened by maybe how they've dealt with things in their life. Not just in the past, but it's been an ongoing experience. This is kind of like a reckoning again, you know, so recognition of all of that energy. All right. Show me the Queen of Swords in reverse. You have the Five of Cups in reverse. So good. The Five of Cups in reverse is a card of no longer wanting to be attached to that sadness, that regret, that ugliness. Here at the bottom of the deck, you have the Devil. So somebody that has been working out a very low level energy, somebody that's been experiencing life through a sense of grab it while you can, get your satisfaction, me. There's I feel like a separation here when it comes to how this person experiences life and also their time with others. Very kind of cut off energy, and I feel like somebody here is now wanting to resurrect, or at least test the waters of feeling different, feeling new, changing things in themselves and in their relationships. The Five of Cups is a great card to have in reverse. It just really highlights a lot of intention to get out of sadness, the intention to see things in a brighter way, to make yourself more available to your happiness, to the opportunities that are presenting themselves in your life, you know, versus just focusing on sadness and regret. Show me the King of Wands here for Scorpio. You have the Devil coming out in reverse. Tower, bottom of the deck. So this is a rapid change, okay? High acceleration, being able to use your past experiences and hurts for your better understanding and knowledge. They're not something to feel guilty about anymore, Scorpio. Now it's about being accountable for those actions, being accountable for those pains, those thoughts, those hurts. If you see this card, he's not stabbed in the back. He has electricity coming out of him. His heart chakra is open. There's a star, the pentacle there. You know, it's upright. It serves the human being. It is for the good of the earth. It is for the good of the connections. We almost have him on a cross as well. So there's some sort of crucifixion rebirth energy here. You know, there's a rainbow behind this person, and their crown chakra is spewing stars. Like, it's pretty heavy shit, man. I'm sorry, you guys. And it's coming on quick. There's a lot of accountability here that's just kind of shocking the shit out of whomever this is, or at least it's going to. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Show me the Moon. Yeah, for the moon, you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse with the Magician in reverse. Knight of Pentacles is throwing himself up right now. I'm going to leave that there. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups. So in regard to connections with other people, Scorpio, and harshness, if you need to reach out to somebody to make amends, I would urge you to do so, because there is a bounty of healing that comes with it. If you are not going to do that, if you don't need to do that, this may be just a time to connect with friends, to get better advice, get moral support. Either way, with the Magician in reverse, this can talk about, with the moon and the Magician in reverse, it almost feels like we're battling our own kind of that foxy coyote trickster energy. It's like battling your inner demons, battling the shitty ways that you can be as a human being, the unnecessarily antagonistic ways, how you maybe kind of torture people in your silence, in your absence, how you can cut somebody off forever. There's psychological wounding that can come through that, Scorpio, or that can come from that. And it's really difficult for people that don't experience you to bounce back from that, okay? Especially when it's intentional on your part, And I understand when you got to wipe your hands, you got to wipe your hands. But if it's done out of malice or the intent to hurt a person, then that really hurts you in return. And when you have to hold on to grudges, it keeps you in that energy. So it doesn't really offer you the opportunity to grow. And I feel like that's been kind of a consistent part of somebody's experience in life here. So it's like, it feels like now they're realizing they have not allowed themselves to grow. They've kept themselves in kind of this bullshit devil energy, attached to toxicity, attached to, serving the self in ways that just isn't even healthy. It becomes more destructive than anything. And it's like, now we have the opportunity to change. But facing all of this is big business for somebody. It's a lot to be accountable. So I hope that this reading is helpful for you guys. You have new opportunities shifting, but I feel here for some of you, this is really important to open up, to share your energy with some person, to be available to communication, to, being able to conquer your fears and emotional upheaval, Don't be two minds about it. Make your decision. Move forward. There's a lot of positivity that comes with it. It's just, the art of being accountable. So anyways, I hope this is helpful for you guys. I'm going to let it go here. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to donate, it helps me greatly. And I'm not taking personal readings at this time. Okay? So I love you guys. Take care. Bye.